Have you ever woken up, swung your legs over the side of the bed, and felt that familiar stiffness pulse through your knees before you've even taken a step? Joint pain can feel like an uninvited guest that lingers far too long, stealing the simple pleasure of a morning stretch or an afternoon stroll. But what if easing that ache could begin with something as humble and delicious as a single piece of fruit? Today you'll discover the soothing secret packed inside tart cherries, nature's ruby-red gems that research and real-life stories alike celebrate for calming inflammation and smoothing creaky joints. Together, we'll explore why these little beauties work, how to enjoy them day after day, and the empowering ripple effect a small daily habit can have on comfort, confidence, and joyful independence. Tart cherries, nature's calming whisper. The moment a tart cherry meets your tongue, bright juice sparks awake like sunrise on still water. That vivid crimson hue signals the presence of anthocyanins, tiny plant compounds that act like kind-hearted mediators inside sore joints. Picture an inflamed knee as a crowded town square filled with loud voices and pushing elbows. Anthocyanins arrive with gentle authority, asking the noisiest guests to lower their volume, making space for comfort to return. Many older adults describe mornings when knees crackled like old floorboards and hips throbbed before the kettle whistled. Yet after a few weeks of daily tart cherry enjoyment, those same mornings began with easier bends and lighter steps. A retired postman from Maine once shared how he celebrated delivering his last letter by planting a Montmorency cherry tree in his yard. Years later, his routine became a sunrise walk beneath that tree, plucking a small bowl full of fruit and savoring each bite while birds rehearsed their dawn chorus. He noticed the mailbag-heavy ache in his shoulders grew quieter with every season the tree flourished. Your joints have carried decades of memories, dances at family weddings, stoops to tie laces on eager grandchildren, steady strides across neighborhood streets. Tart cherries do not erase time, yet they offer the very tissues that cushion bone upon bone a cool drink of relief. Consider trying a small serving each day and let your body decide whether the whisper grows into a comforting song. As you chew, imagine crimson juice traveling through blood vessels, delivering peace to cells that have chipped and frayed under years of service. Let that image remind you that healing can not only happen in hospitals and clinics, but also in the quiet ritual of choosing foods that love you back. By honoring tart cherries, you honor the tireless work your joints perform and the journeys still waiting beyond your front door. How the cherry works, science in everyday words. Picture your joints as tiny neighborhoods where hard-working cells live side by side, sweeping debris, fixing cracks, and laying down cushioning each night so you can greet morning with a comfortable stride. Long ago, those neighborhoods bustled quietly. Yet over the decades, traffic increased. Every stair climbed, every grandchild lifted, every cool winter stiffened tissue like frozen ground. In time, the peaceful lanes turned noisy. Chemical messengers called cytokines arrived like flashing sirens, warning of wear and tear. They meant well, but they stayed too long, and their constant alarm summoned swelling, tenderness, and the grinding sensation you now feel whenever you bend to lace shoes. Tart cherries step into this busy scene not as bulldozers, but as subtle city planners, calming chaos so the neighborhood can breathe again. The jewel-red skin of a Montmorency cherry holds anthocyanins, natural pigments that do far more than paint fruit a lovely shade. When you chew a handful or sip the juice, those pigments travel through the bloodstream, docking at inflamed joints like skilled mediators. Imagine them raising a gentle palm toward the blaring cytokines and saying, "Hush now, let's lower the volume." Lab studies show anthocyanins reduce C-reactive protein, a marker doctors check when inflammation rages. That drop does not simply look good on paper. It feels like waking to softer knees and shoulders that do not shout at every reach. Anthocyanins also protect cartilage, that rubbery layer cushioning bone. Cartilage can wear thin, much like the seat of a favorite armchair rubbed by years of use. Oxygen and rogue molecules gnaw at its fabric, creating rough patches where smooth glide once ruled. Cherries act like careful upholsterers, patching frayed fibers and shielding them from further rust. Scientists found that people who consumed tart cherry products before strenuous activity produced less uric acid, the gritty crystal that can lodge painfully in joints. Lower uric acid means fewer midnight jolts of throbbing big toes or swollen fingers that refuse to twist jar lids. These modest fruits carry another surprising ally: melatonin. Think of melatonin as twilight's lullaby, guiding your body toward deep, restorative sleep. Pain often steals that rest, but tart cherries sing the hormone's tune a little louder, helping eyelids grow heavy and dreams stretch longer. During undisturbed slumber, cartilage cells knit tiny tears, muscles flush out stiffness, and the immune system reviews its day's work under calm lamplight. Many seniors who add cherries to their supper describe waking refreshed instead of groggy, discovering they can rise from bed without negotiating with aching hips. The body thrives on balance. Blood vessels, like garden hoses, need flexibility to carry nutrients, yet inflammation leaves them kinked. Anthocyanins relax vessel walls, improving flow so oxygen and healing signals reach the deepest corners of creaky joints. Better circulation also lures warmth back into chilly fingertips and toes, turning a winter morning walk from ordeal into quiet pleasure. It might help to visualize a well-loved village square after spring cleaning. Banners flutter softly, pathways clear of clutter, neighbors chatting on benches. This is what tart cherries offer your inner neighborhoods. They tidy, mend, and quiet the endless honking, so comfort can stroll freely again. Every crimson bite says to your joints, you are safe, you are supported, and brighter days of easy motion can return. One sweet mouthful at a time. Easy ways to welcome cherries onto your plate. A new habit blossoms best when it slips gracefully into rhythms you already love, like a friendly cat weaving between your ankles as you pour morning tea. Tart cherries lend themselves to that kind of ease. Their sweet tart sparkle, so bright it almost hums against your tongue, can anchor breakfast, soothe the lull between lunch and supper, or help hush an aching knee before bedtime. Consider a few invitations that meet you exactly where you are, asking for no more than a minute of gentle curiosity. Morning spark. Place a half cup of frozen Montmorency cherries in your favorite china bowl before you turn on the kettle. While water warms, the fruit slowly softens, its ruby glaze blushing into the hollows of the dish. Spoon plain yogurt beside it, drizzle a thread of local honey, and scatter crushed walnuts like tiny golden pebbles. The cool creaminess glides across your tongue, while walnuts lend a mellow crunch that sings harmony with the cherry's bright soprano. Feel how the first bite coaxes stiff shoulders to drop and invites lungs to fill deeply. Midday lift. Keep a small jar of unsweetened dried cherries tucked near your tea caddy or by the sofa where you read the afternoon paper. Their chewy zing snaps you out of a drifting drowse far better than store-bought biscuits loaded with sugar. Pair 6 or 7 pieces with a square of dark chocolate. Notice how the chocolate's velvet, almost smoky, notes deepen the fruit's tartness. Let the duo melt slowly. Each unhurried sip of flavor reminds you that even quiet afternoons can feel like tiny celebrations. Evening calm. 2 spoonfuls of tart cherry concentrate stirred into sparkling mineral water create a rosy drink that fizzes like soft rain on a pond. Sip as the sky softens to indigo and street lamps flicker on. Feel miniature bubbles massage the roof of your mouth, while anthocyanins travel downward to murmur comfort to weary joints. Add a sprig of fresh mint if you grow herbs on your windowsill. The scent lifts the heart the way a lullaby lifts a child into dreams. Fresh cherries shine when orchards overflow, yet freezers preserve their magic through every season. Frozen fruit thaws within minutes on warm oatmeal, painting crimson swirls through rising steam. If you fancy baking, Fold chopped tart cherries into a whole-grain muffin batter lightly scented with cinnamon. The muffins emerge dotted with glistening jewels that burst kindly against the palate. Perhaps arthritic fingers groan at stubborn pits. Pre-pitted frozen or canned cherries remove that barrier. If opening jars feels tricky, keep a rubber jar gripper mat in the drawer. Its extra traction turns struggle into triumph, maintaining independence with dignity intact. Begin with 2 open palmfuls or a single cup of juice daily and let your body be the judge. Unsweetened products guard against unwanted sugar spikes, yet their flavor still waltzes across the tongue. If budget or taste buds prefer, alternate days work well too. Keep a small notepad beside the fridge to jot dates and any changes in comfort. Knees that bend without popping, hands that close around a mug without complaint. Over weeks, those observations form a gentle arc of progress, proving that healing sometimes begins with nothing more dramatic than faithful, delicious routine. Let each bite remind you tiny choices bloom into lasting ease, and every ruby-red mouthful is an act of tender self-regard, making cherries affordable, available, and social. Healthy choices occasionally appear dressed in price tags that pinch like too tight shoes, yet tart cherries can fit a modest purse when you know their thrifty secrets. Frozen bags, tucked under a comforting layer of frost, often cost far less per serving than fresh and keep their anti-inflammatory power intact for months. Concentrated juice stretches like a clever budgeter's dollar. A single bottle, kept cool in the pantry, flavors dozens of sparkling drinks, morning smoothies, or evening lullabies in a glass. Seasonal abundance helps too. When farmers' market stalls overflow in midsummer, growers frequently discount slightly blemished or overripe fruit, perfect for a quick rinse and a whirl in the blender. If you pass a cherry-laden tree in a neighbor's yard, consider offering to help harvest. Many gardeners dislike seeing good fruit drop unappreciated. A friendly exchange, your steady ladder footing in return for a share of the bounty, nurtures both pantry and community ties. Perhaps your nearest store stocks only sweet cherries, not the tart variety research praises. A warm word with the produce manager can open new supply lines. Small groceries thrive on loyal customers and often welcome special requests. If you feel shy about asking, invite a friend or two to voice the same desire. Shared advocacy speaks louder. Bulk orders present another path. Several seniors in a Colorado retirement complex formed a cherry circle, pooling money once a month to buy a 20-pound frozen case directly from an orchard. Club members take turns dividing the bright treasure into reusable containers, every bag labeled with the date and a short, uplifting quote, "Here's to nimble knees," or "Sip, smile, stroll." The ritual turns a simple fruit purchase into an anticipated social gathering, complete with laughter that itself tames pain by releasing endorphins. If online shopping feels daunting, enlist a grandchild or tech-savvy neighbor for a 5-minute lesson. Many reputable farms ship concentrate or dried cherries with senior discounts and free delivery thresholds. Learning the simple steps unlocks a wider world of choices and a sense of modern confidence. Cherries also carry the power to weave bonds that mend more than joints. Imagine a weekly postcard adorned with a cherry-red stamp sent to a faraway friend. Inside, a short note. "Tried cherry ginger tea today. My hips hummed a thankful tune." Each exchanged card builds connection, chasing away the hush of solitude. Food pantries sometimes welcome shelf-stable cherry products, so donating a bottle or two extends pain relief to neighbors, fighting both inflammation and food insecurity. Acts of giving kindle purpose, and purpose quickens the pulse with life-affirming warmth. Budget worries may whisper that health costs too much, yet tally hidden savings. Fewer over-the-counter pain pills, fewer restless nights that demand electric heat pads, fewer taxi fares when aching hips resist bus steps. Pain's price is often silent but steep. Cherries ask a fraction in return for daily comfort. Remember, every smart purchase is a seed. Plant it, water it with attention, and watch value bloom, both in the wallet and in the widening circle of friendships nourished by shared care. Let cherries prove that wellness can be both frugal and richly communal, sweet on the tongue and kind to the heart. From daily snack to life-changing ritual, a single healthy decision can ripple outward like a stone dropped in still water. Adding tart cherries today may awaken desire for gentle stretches tomorrow, then prompt a leisurely park stroll next week. Movement lubricates joints, pulls nourishing blood through cartilage, and reinforces the relief cherries begin. Consider creating a morning or evening ritual that pairs cherries with mindful reflection. Maybe sit by the window, feel the warmth of sun across your shoulders, and breathe gratitude for the body that still carries you. Gently rotate ankles, wiggle fingers, acknowledge any discomfort without judgment. Sip or chew cherries as an act of compassion toward those tender spots. Track progress in a small comfort journal. List activities that felt easier, climbing porch steps, opening a stubborn jar lid, knitting a few extra rows without finger cramps. Celebrate subtle wins. Over months, the story unfolding on those pages can motivate you during occasional setbacks. Invite hobbies that deepen the theme of vibrant color and nourishment. Paint cherry blossoms on postcards, embroider red beads onto a scarf, or grow herbs in window boxes to pair with cherry recipes. Creative play stimulates the brain, reduces stress hormones, and gently distracts from lingering aches. If loneliness sometimes sits heavy on the sofa beside you, let cherries become conversation starters. Offer a neighbor a small jar of homemade cherry overnight oats topped with crushed pistachios. Share the tale of anthocyanins and cytokines in everyday words. Your generosity may inspire a walking partner and a cherished friendship. Remember, change thrives under kindness, not pressure. If a day passes without cherries, simply return tomorrow. Progress does not vanish with a single skipped serving. It evolves through steady care, bolstered by self-forgiveness. As the day winds down and you cradle your evening glass of tart cherry goodness, remember this: your life's chapters are still unfolding with possibility. Pain may have tried to dim the colors of your world, but with each sip or bite of these ruby fruits, you invite ease, energy, and vibrant hue back into the picture. If today's gentle tip resonates, subscribe to stay connected, ring the bell so future health stories arrive right on time, and share your cherry-tasting adventures in the comments. Your voice may be the encouragement another neighbor needs to take that first sweet step toward comfort. Here's to mornings that start without stiffness and evenings that end in peaceful rest, one delicious cherry at a time.